Hello, hello, hello. We are back with Couch Coaches on 90.3 WSS, East Stroudsburg University, East Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania. Mir's back with us.
You know the
Say
vibes.
what's up, Mir.
You know the vibes.
Hey, man. That was a good interview we just had, man.
Solid
Nice to
interview,
have
solid interview.
Misa Kloss and Dominic Walton on. It was a great interview. Part of the ESU track team. They were top 5 finalists in the throwing events at the PSAC. Had to show them some love. Make sure you also look at the Stroud Curry as well. Look at my article on Misa Kloss as well. She was the Spotlight Athlete of the Week. So make sure you go out and see that as well. But now, moving on, like I promised,
Down to business.
some NFL talk, guys. Combine starts tomorrow. Very excited for that.
My
You know,
favorite part of the football season.
well, yeah. Once the combine starts, that's when you know the draft is right around the corner, and that's that's when I get excited. And then when the draft, when I know that the draft is around the corner and is almost here, then that means OTAs are almost here, and when
Training
OTA
camp.
is here, then it's training camp,
Mhm.
and then training camp after training camp, then y'all know what it is. Then it's the season. Then it's game time, go time. But so we're gonna preview about 5 or 6 guys here who, not all of them are household names. There's some, below the radar type of guys, but still elite talent.
Yes.
Very elite talent. So let's just dive right in, guys. So, Mir, start off. Look, Mir loves this. Mir is the college football
love
guru.
college
He's
football,
like my
man.
college football insider.
Love college football.
So we had a lot of fun in our production meeting, choosing different guys who we thought were going to be that we should, highlight on the show.
Keep an eye out for.
Right, exactly. So, who's our first guy on the board, Mir?
All right, so my first guy is kind of a local guy, Calvin Harmon from North Carolina State. He's a Jersey kid, South Jersey. He's a South Jersey kid.
Yeah. Palmyra.
Yeah. Played
New Jersey.
Played against him in 7-on-7 NOG guy. Calvin's he's kind of that go up and get it receiver, big body, 6'1", about 215, 220-ish. Incredible ball skills. That's what I like about him. Now, he's projected to go either late first, early second. I know I've seen on a lot of boards they had, the Philadelphia Eagles picking him. I don't think they'll go that route, but I definitely do think, he'll be, like I said, late first, early second kind of guy. He's a high caliber receiver.
Right. Look, I like this guy. In and out of his routes, decent. Pretty solid. He's not a route technician. That's not him. But he does a solid job. But what I really like about this kid is his body positioning. Mm-hmm. He positions his body in and out of his cuts phenomenally, and he knows when the ball is coming, and he positions his body so that he can shield the defender with his body and make the tough catch. And not every receiver knows how to do that, and that's why that's such a key for this young kid, and why I feel like he'll be pretty, at least decently successul.
I think he'll be a solid 2 in the league.
Yeah, definitely. 2. Now here's the thing: he'll be a 2, but he's not very versatile. You won't.
Yeah, he's limited in the road tree. I'll give you that.
He's limited, and I don't see him playing in the slot as well. He's only gonna be able to play on the outside. Wow. So, that there's his his critiques and some negatives on him. But at the end of the day, he has 2,000-yard seasons at NC State. With over at least 60 receptions in both years. So, and he has he had 7 TDs last season. He had 4 the following, but the year before. But he trended in an upward fashion.
No crazy numbers, but
right? But still solid.
He made progress. Yeah,
look, 2,000-yard seasons.
Yeah.
That's in the ACC. That's solid. That's definitely solid. And you definitely can't take away from that kid. And he also averaged 14 point yards per catch as well. Right. So just to top that off.
First down every time he's
who is your who do you think is the best comp for him in the league right now currently?
Say that again.
Comp, who do you like? Who is he comparable to?
I liked your comparison to Jeffries. I think that's the most accurate one I could think of. Because of the size and and also the talent level. Same thing with Jeffrey. Jeffrey's not gonna, surprise you by, crazy speed. But he's a possession receiver. He'll make the catch when you need him to. You know what I mean? Well, not every time you need him, but
no, but yeah, I definitely understand. Solid player. Moving on. Who's next on our list, Mir?
All right, so next I have Devin Singletary out of FAU, Florida Atlantic University. He's kind of that hefty back, but he's a little shifty. He will surprise you with his footwork, man.
I enjoy watching this kid, man. I
too.
enjoy watching this kid.
Yeah,
you put me on to him.
This guy, now, unfortunately, he suffered from a, don't quote me, I want to say an ankle or a knee injury at the end of the season, his last year. So that might hurt his stock a little bit. I'm not sure what the coaches or the scouts have been talking to him, how he's been addressing his injury. But I know it's later in the season he suffered from injury. But nonetheless, game is phenomenal. Now, what a lot of people might take away is, the conference. He played at Florida Atlantic. Not too much competition, but just enough where it's okay, he's kind of legit. Other than that,
lower D1 conference.
Yeah, that's my only, downfall with him.
Look, this guy has been a baller. He's from Florida. He's 5'9", 200 pounds. All 3 seasons that he's been at Florida Atlantic, he's had 1,000 yards. He's averaged over 5 yards a carry every season he's been there. He almost had 2,000 yards in 2017. When you watch this kid, you think he's a power back. You think he's just gonna run you over. But I literally saw him stop in the middle of a hole and then jolt out of it like a cannon. This kid could be special. I definitely feel like he could be special. His first in 2016 he had 12 TDs. In 2017 he had 32 touchdowns. And then in 2018, just last season, he had 22. Granted, he did get hurt, and his yards per carry also went down as well. But this kid has been balling, man. He's been balling at that level, and that's how you overcome not being in such a competitive conference. Right. Is when you put up crazy numbers like he has, and
that's what it's always the same. We were my senior year. When guys were starting to get recruited, we had some big name schools come to the room. We had some small schools. We had some D2 schools, some D3 schools. But one thing our receiver coach always embedded in us was, no matter where you go, you ball, they're gonna find you. So, and like I said, this kid, even though he wasn't in a Power 5 conference, but he balled, and so now he's getting the recognition he deserves. So
that's facts. So. Who's next on the list, Mir? Who we got?
Next, all right, now I'm about to get excited because we going over to the defensive side of the ball. All right, so next up is my guy Iman Marshall out of USC. All right, he's a Long Beach Poly guy, just like Dory Jackson.
Long Beach Poly. That's my I'm not gonna lie, I love the Dory coming out, man. I was so high on it. It was like that was a pick for me that was you couldn't miss. Like I knew he was not gonna be a bust. There's no way in hell he was gonna be a bust.
That speed, that elite speed. Now, Iman Marshall on the other hand, not elite speed. He's a 4.5, 4.6 kind of sub 4.6 kind of guy. Not crazy fast, but where he makes up for it is his aggressiveness. He's a very aggressive corner.
And you can see that on the tape.
Very aggressive corner, big frame, long arms. I think he has a 70 or 73 and a half wingspan.
Yeah, that's what we saw, yeah.
Long arms, Now, my only problem with him is I don't think his corner, that corner ability will transfer into the NFL, which is why, you look at his senior season, his stats as far as, PBUs and interceptions went down. He had more tackles than he did in his junior year. And I think that's because USC wanted to put him in that position to start to get looked at by these NFL scouts and place him at safety, where I think he'll be playing on Sundays.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think at the collegiate level he could pass for a corner, but the speed and it's just I feel like it's the lack of his speed that is gonna kill him. At the next level if he were to play corner. And so that's why you move him to safety. And he's big enough to play safety. He likes to tackle. Clearly, he had 48 total tackles, 37 solo and 11 assisted. So he likes to get his nose dirty. But, you could tell and you talk about his physical play, right? great safeties are physical at the line of scrimmage, and great safeties normally are covering big physical tight ends. So that's his physicality and his physicalness is going to be key in him being successful at the safety position at the next level, because these tight ends, they're going to be they're physical with you at the top of every route. So you got to have a guy covering him who's going to be physical just like him. So who do you see his comp in the NFL?
I want to say he's kind of I want to go Ramsey so bad, but not too much of Ramsey as far as the talent wise.
Yeah, because Ramsey's a lockdown corner and probably the top corner in the league currently.
I'll shade more to the Eric Reed side.
Okay.
A guy, he'll come down, get aggressive. He could play in the box a little bit. He'll make the tackle. Also, his coverage skills aren't outstanding, but he'll get the job done. When you need him. I think Eric Reed is more of a good comparison opposed to Ramsey, just because he plays corner and safety. Right,
facts. Totally agree. So, our last defensive guy on our list that's not, part of the ESU football team. This my guy, man. Man, I literally could watch his tape all day.
Dog.
I could watch this guy's tape all day. Dexter Lawrence, out of Clemson, from Wake Forest, North Carolina, 6'4", 340 pounds of grown man.
And can move. He's a dog. Now, Dexter.
Very light on his feet.
Now, the reason we threw Dexter in there is because of the situation in the college football playoffs. He got suspended for, substance. It wasn't. The story was very vague.
Yeah, they said substance. I forget exactly.
It was a legal substance.
Yeah, it was a legal substance.
They never came out and said what it was. The storyline was very vague on that. We just know he got suspended, for the playoff game as well as the college football national championship. So of course, no doubt the guy could play on Sundays. No doubt.
Oh, easily.
No doubt.
Shish.
What I'm interested is to see if that situation, if that illegal substance situation, will hurt his draft stock. Where will he fall?
I think it's going to hurt it maybe a tad, but nothing crazy.
Yeah,
I think he'll still be gone in the first round just because he's such a dominant talent. He eats up double teams. I watched him eat. I watched him swim two guys and make a tackle. Like, if you guys don't really, you guys kind of maybe don't understand if you haven't played the game, but when you have offensive linemen who are drive blocking you and run blocking you, and you find a way to get past two of them, and you played in the ACC, the ACC.
Played against something. The clip you're talking about was against the SEC defense.
I'm not crazy. But he swam and got off of two offensive linemen and then still made the tackle at the line of scrimmage.
It's a dog.
That means, hold on, let me break this down for you. That means you have to be quick.
Good hands.
Great hands. And then
you just gotta be a dog.
And then the football IQ to locate the football and then
dog.
and then make the tackle. Phenomenal player, once in a lifetime talent. Could be on the level and could be better than a Fletcher Cox and an Aaron Donald. He could be amongst those types of guys. That's where I see him. He's that much of a difference maker. He's that much of a playmaker. But I don't feel like that off the field issue is going to hinder his draft stock
for sure.
Too much at all. He's too good of a talent.
Maybe second round.
I don't see it. I don't see it.
I think
his talent.
I think
I don't know.
Because like I said, these guys they go in, they have meetings with these scouts. So it all depends how he's handling the situation, how he's addressing it.
True. All right, we got 5 minutes left. We got to get to our ESU guys.
I couldn't wait for this.
Mir's been chomping at the bit to talk about his ESU guys. So give me just a few who you think who can make a mark.
All right. So first off on the list we have the Terminator.
The Terminator.
Jamar Anderson. Jamar Anderson is a solid back, big guy. Hard to bring down with one person.
Remember that game? Remember that game we called?
6 touchdowns.
Six touchdowns.
6 touchdowns. Broke an ESU record. Big guy. Hard to bring down with arm tackles. I definitely see him. I think he can make a mark in the league. I don't think he'll get in, and put up crazy numbers. But I think he he could get himself a spot on the NFL roster.
I like Jamar. I think he's a solid back. Anybody who's played football knows, and if you see him, and especially if you seen him play, he's those types of guys where if you see him in the hole, especially as a DB, that's not the type of guy that you want to that you feel like hitting every single down. He's the type of guy who's going to wear you down. He reminds me a lot of Brandon Jacobs. He runs very similar to Brandon Jacobs, a little more shifty and a little more elusive than Brandon Jacobs.
I think that's where he'll surprise people with his athletic. I think he has more athletic. He's more athletic than people give him credit for. I'll say that.
Yeah, I agree. I like the kid, but at the same time,
that's a grown man. That's a grown man.
He is a grown man. I seen him run over like 3 people for a score, man. It was crazy. Anyway, I just don't know if his game will translate to the next level. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not saying that he can't. I'm just not 100% sure if it's going to be able to happen. So, moving on. Who else you got for me, Mayor?
All right, next is Lil Reader. All right, Lil Reader is a Philly guy, another Philly guy, out of Samuel Fells High School. Actually transferred here from Valley Forge Military Academy. Now, Lil Reader, Lil is a funny situation because I think Lil Reader can play out wide or in the slot. Now, I think he'll make his money in the slot at the next level. I don't think he's on the outside.
I don't think he's big enough.
Yeah, here at ASU, he played a lot of outside. He played a lot of outside receiver. But I think he'll make his money in the slot in the NFL level. He's a shifty guy. Great route. I think his speed, it doesn't catch you until you're in front of him or you just see him blowing past people.
Right.
I think that's where Jalil will make his mark. Only critique I would have for Jalil is ball skills. I think if he gets his ball skills up, better hands.
But that's key at the next level because there's a lot of, especially being in the slot, it's going to be a lot of contested catches. And if your hands aren't there, it's going to be very hard to make a team. Not saying that he's incapable of doing it. He's incapable of evolving as a player and being better in those situations. I just know that if you're incapable of doing that, it's going to be very hard to stay on the team. But I feel as though he'll be given a chance, maybe on a practice squad or a special teams guy, just because of his pure speed.
And that's why I think he'll succeed. I think he'll get in because of that. Here, ASU we didn't really use him too much on special teams, but he has that punt return. He had that Devin Hester ability to take those punt returns back, to take those to the crib. That's why I think Lil would be a solid guy in the league.
I think that's key. I think for him, I think he needs to focus on getting better at catching the ball, his ball skills, expanding his route tree just a little bit more, but while he's doing that, I feel like he needs to put his all into special teams and really try his hardest to get on a special team, to make a special team. Because if he's able to do that, if he's able to get on a practice squad or able, to get a roster spot as a special teams guy, I think everything else will come and he'll be able to have a decent career. But I do want to thank you guys for tuning in to.
We got one more guy. I gotta get it.
We got like a minute, half a minute.
We're going into my show. It's fine. The last guy I gotta get is Billy Inge III, man. I saved my guy for last. I gotta get Billy Inge III. Billy Inge is a free safety. Hey, listen, the kid, that man, that's a grown man. He just makes plays, man. He's just a play. He gives me that honey badger effect. Watch he's all over the field. All right, he's all over the field.
No, he was. He has.
Interception to the crib.
He has.
It's been played.
He's won PSAC Player of the Week as well several times.
And also is a NCAA statistic champion. Bill Lynch is definitely a guy I could see playing on Sundays. Like I said, he just has that playmaker ability. He's all over the field.
Now, what do you think? Now, do you think he would play safety at the next level?
I believe so. Either safety or they put him in that nickel. Now, that's what I said. Now, like since we've been critiquing all the guys, I think his worst, his flaw is probably his man coverage. It's not it's not horrible, but it's not the best either. So like, in order for these guys to get to the next level.
But a lot of the NFL is about scheming. So if he finds the right scheme and he goes to a team who runs a lot of zone, he might be able to hide that factor of him not being able, not being able, but not being a great man-to-man defender. But do you feel as though he's quick enough to cover guys in the slot? Because you said he could play the nickel. So do you think his like hips are loose enough, and do you think his hip movement is good enough to play at that level? Because you gotta have phenomenal hips to be a D-back.
Oh yeah, for sure. What Bill is, like I said, Bill's not gonna not electrifying speed. He's a, I want to say 4.5 kind of guy. Not electrifying speed, but he's quick. I think the thing with Bill is, why I think his game will translate to the league, is because Bill's a technician. All right, Bill's a technician, and I like that a lot in DBs.
Right, facts.
Because at the end of the day, they say technique beats talent.
Hey, it does.
They say technique beats talent.
Look, I'll be the first one to tell you I was never the most talented person on the field, but best believe I was in the right position every time.
And one of the hardest workers I've ever played with in all of my years of playing football.
Wow.
One of the hardest workers.
You play with a lot of guys too, man. So
one of the
that means something to me. Shit.
So like I said, Bill Lynch is definitely a guy we might be seeing on Sundays.
That's lit, man. Well, I appreciate you guys for listening to Couch Coaches and a little bit of On Air with Mayor.